IYKYK, which obviously YD. Okay?
Dutcher and Hardy, mornings on the Sports Hub.
I mean, it means a lot, but I wouldn't be here without my teammates. The belief they had in me, this coaching staff, this organization, this fan base. I mean, without them, none of this is possible.
The elevator did that thing again.
Oh, it hesitated? It jumped a little bit?
It jumps up before it goes down.
Oh,
like
boy.
it hesitates and then it goes boom up. And then it starts going down. I mean, it's a good 10 seconds.
10? That's a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Like the elevator door is closed and it sits there. Say it sits there for 2 seconds. Every time I eat, I get the burp. I only have that small window to eat.
That's why I want to ask this guy at 9:30 about the burp monitor.
Yeah.
You got your questions still? They still there?
I don't understand why you couldn't. We have the fart doctor coming on. I don't understand how you couldn't just track your own farts.
Because
1, 2, 3.
23 skidoo.
Clinically, I think farts are measured differently. That would be the obvious answer.
There's no obvious answer. There's no obvious answer.
It's a pretty obvious answer.
What's obvious? What's a fart and what's not a fart? If it is obvious, then you don't need a tracker. That's the first question. What is a fart? Oh.
Of all the questions, you didn't write that one down?
I already had that.
I already had that too.
Yeah, well, no, that's the one I gave you.
Okay.
Doctor, what is a fart?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And ask it just like that. You want me to ask it?
Sure.
Yeah, because you screw it up. Somebody, by the way, and feel free to email us the questions you have for the fart doctor. Tim wants to know, what is the resale price on one of these devices?
$29.99. What?
He wants the resale, though.
Yeah.
He doesn't want a brand new one.
Yeah. I want one in a bag sent to me. Yes. Smell intact. Okay. All right. So the New York Knicks.
Subject line of some of my emails today. One of them is hot brown rain.
Yeah, there you go. If you have any questions for the fart doctor, we'd love to get them. Now, the New York Knicks are in the NBA Finals for the first time this century. They have a lot of famous fans. It seems like everyone just about in sports media is a Knicks fan.
Yes. It appears that way, but the Knicks have fans that are true people of New York. And the people of New York take to the streets, Fred, after a big victory, after they completed the sweep of the Cleveland Cavaliers. And they had so much to say, and there are so many ways of recording these people, and we are thankful for all of them, especially when they are singular entities who are asked a very good question about the Knicks and their chances now that they have advanced to the NBA Finals.
What would you give up for the Knicks to win it all?
Bro, I would give up every thing. My coworkers, them because they're all useless. I would give up half my family. I would give up almost everything in life for the Knicks to win it all.
That sounds like someone who wants those things gone anyway. That just sounds like a manifesto more than it does like, what would you give up? Those don't sound like things he'd give up, though. It sounds like things he'd like to be taken away.
What would you give up for the Knicks to win it all?
Bro, I would give up every thing.
I got to watch that video again. It's really good.
Glorious.
Oh, yeah. Meatloaf's the greatest. Operatic rock. That's what rock really needed.
But he's all ugly at the beginning, but he becomes beautiful at the end.
I know. Every song is 7 minutes.
Yeah, that's what they needed. They need more operatic, long rock songs. That's what Meatloaf brought to the table.
By the way, I got the Spinners Rubber Band Man on my on one of my playlists right now because the kids liked it when they were little, and I'm gonna put it back on there. It's kind of nostalgic.
How does Rubber Band Man go?
It's the song during
Rubber
the mud
Band
wrestling
Man,
scene.
Rubber Band Man, do 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 do. When I added it to the playlist, I added the album version. How long do you think the album version of Rubber Band Man is?
Oh, that's 8.5 minutes or something.
Over 7 minutes long.
Yeah, that's a long one. Yeah.
So I was getting my hair cut at the barber shop, and they were playing like old funk. And I was like, these songs never. I think it was one song the entire time I was in there.
That's right.
Like they break it down for like a real long time.
Yep.
The Spinner's a rubber band man. He just keeps talking about that rubber band man stretched between his toes around his nose. Where in the world did he learn that? Rubber band man. Huh. Look at it. Rubber band man, rubber band. Rubber. Oh, it's rubber. It's band.
You just let the groove go.
So
That's what it is.
It was going on for so long, I was trying to like differentiate between the instruments, because the one thing I'll give 70s funk is that they just go, here's the bass, and they turn it up. They turn it up like this. They're just like, hello, bass. What are you doing up here? And then the guitars are kind of and the vocals are like right here in the middle. So like I was trying to like, I'm like, I wonder where the guitar players.
Yeah.
I was so just like fascinated by how long the song was. I'm like, I wonder what the guitar is doing. And it's like, ching, 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 because the bass is just like
that. You know what? That last year, you go back and like the Rick James stuff, like well into the '80s. That stuff. I mean, that's all bass. Remember the Eddie Murphy song? That
Party All the Time.
Yeah. And in the video, Rick James comes in with the guitar at the end. There's already two guitar players in the booth. And then Rick James says, I can't take it anymore. And he grabs a guitar and goes in there. There's not one freaking guitar in the song. I defy you to identify the guitar in that song.
That's like a keyboard and bass.
It's a keyboard and bass.
What the funk guys seem to like, they'd get like a real funky bass line that they liked a lot. And then they would be like, play it for an hour. And we'll just lightly do stuff over it.
Yeah.
Because this was a slap one, but it was real funky, but it was like a kind of simple one, and it went on for 20 minutes.
Hell yeah!
Of just boom, bop, boom, boom, bop, boom, bop, boom, boom, bop. Yeah. It's funky. Like every 10 minutes, funky.
Speaking of 10 minutes, this gentleman has a lot to say. Another New York Knicks fan out on the street afterward, not being interviewed. This is a selfie video. I'm not sure where he hoped this to disseminate to or for, but we are the lucky recipients.
Isn't it a little sad to be hanging out in front of the arena? Like it just not like you're a loser or anything, but it's like kind of like this is my station in life.
Yeah.
Like at least if you're at home, you got a roof over your head. There's like a line of demarcation between those who have and those who have not. And you're kind of like celebrating not being able to get in. Like I couldn't get into a Knicks game either. Like I don't have $100,000 to get into a Knicks game, believe it or not. But it's not. But I would feel uncomfortable hanging out. Like there's people
you're with your like-minded and like-funded people.
So I'm gonna go to Midtown Manhattan and just stand around in the street.
Yeah.
Okay.
City's alive.
I'm not gonna lie to you, kid. The New York Knicks are going to the playoffs. All you who hated on us, laughed at us for rubbing our Knicks, go your mother.
For rubbing your Knicks?
Repping.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's repping.
This guy spits a lot, too. There's just a lot of saliva
you couldn't tell
flying
that.
out of his mouth.
High five to my man. I do the same. Sometimes I'll be yelling in the car when I'm by myself, and I'll see that I've spittled up the windshield real nice.
Laughed at us for rubbing our Knicks, go your mother.
Oh.
Film it.
Let me tell you one thing, kid. Let me tell you one thing, kid. We're going to the finals.
Oh, it's good he's talking to a kid.
He's talking to his young daughter.
Yeah, he's talking to a 4-year-old girl.
Yeah, he turns the camera to his child with so sleepy-eyed and just wants to go home, go to bed. I have school tomorrow.
No, you don't. You're working.
We're like the 1996 Yankees. We're going to win the finals. You motherfuckers don't believe in us?
That's the team that he could pull out, the 96 Yankees?
Was that the John Wetland MVP Yankees?
Yes, they beat Atlanta.
Yeah, but it's just like a random year of the Yankees. Just 19. Are you like so you're like the 96 Yankees?
Maybe
okay.
that's the team that
I don't think
back
there's
to prominence.
I don't think there's anything to it more than he just said 96 Yankees.
Okay.
Is John Wetland in prison?
I don't know the answer to that.
We believe in ourselves. That's why we Knicks fans. Yeah, let's go. SGA, eat my one.
Ooh. This guy's got a lot of things he wants to happen.
1B, eat my Spurs, eat my OKC, eat my I don't give a
All right, so again, like the last guy who said, "What would I'd give up my coworkers and half my family?"
My coworkers, them because they're all useless.
Yeah, I think he just wants them away. And again, I think that it's not so much he's saying these people he doesn't like them. It sounds like he just wants them to do that to him.
I would give up half my family.
Yes, I believe it. I think you would do it willingly, and you would actually like it.
SGA, eat my.
Yeah, I just think he wants that done.
1B, eat my.
Yes, he is.
No.
Whoever y'all send, and y'all got these excuses now. Oh, let me guess. The Knicks had the easiest schedule to the road to the playoffs. That's not our problem, motherfucker. We don't make the standings. We don't do.
Yeah, I believe that. You don't do anything.
Well, I am confident that he is not in charge of the schedule or the standings.
Of anything. I don't think he's in charge of the schedule for a donut shop.
Go your mother.
I don't think he's been on a schedule for anything but a parole board in several years.
The Cavaliers. That.
Well, that's a long one.
Donovan Mitchell, you fake ass New Yorker. Your parents had good credit, you piece of.
What? What the hell?
His parents had good credit.
Yes.
So he didn't grow up hard scrabbled. He had grow up with parents with good credit.
You didn't grow up in the slums like me. Philly, Atlanta gave us the best series. Let's go. Shouts to y'all. All you boy girls out there that like boy girls, I love y'all. Let's go. The New York Knicks are going to the finals, and the rest of the world just let's get it.
Big Culture Club fan.
Yeah.
Took an odd turn there at the end.
There was a conversation about that in the back room. Like, what does he mean by that?
I think he's so emotional, he's trying to like shout out to humanity. Mm-hmm. And he says,
all you boy girls out there that like boy girls.
Yeah, like he just got kind of tripped up and he couldn't he was thinking of a clever way to say humans. But, he's got bad credit.
Your mother.
Can do. All right.
Your parents had good credit, you piece of
That's just a specifically New York way to insult somebody.
There's
yeah, like so I should be trying not to have good credit.
Exactly,
that would be that's the goal.
Yes,
Fred. There's one more group that kind of reminds us of the San Diego Padre guys.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, these guys have a bit of a routine.
All right, so the San Diego Padre guys, before the playoffs years ago, there was a group of 5-6 guys, middle-aged white guys. Middle-aged guys. And they were dressed like golfers, and they had obviously put together a little choreographed routine.
So, back, Philly, back.
And like 3 of the guys were unsure, so they were kind of just rocking back and forth where they smiled. And there was one guy that was like in charge of it. And it was...
That's what's in.
That I do stand, and I still stand on this, that is the most embarrassing video in the history of the internet.
Let's go, Goose.
Checks so many boxes. It's adults, because nothing with a kid can count because they're kids. They're sober. Because I'm getting rid of anything, whether they're on drugs or alcohol, like when they're in an altered state of mind. It's not improvised. They plan this.
And man, he's going to cruise.
They put together a routine. The 5 adult males put together a fun routine to do in front of the baseball park, which is unfathomable that you would do that. You have to put yourself in, they're around our age or whatever. Say you're out with some guys and they're like, guys going to the game, and you're like, oh, yeah, we're all going. And they're like, let's put together a rap routine.
Yeah, let's spend 30, 45 minutes before we leave and get this thing together.
So, back, Philly, back. Let's go, Goose. Go your mother.
Yeah. All right, so this reminds you of the Padre guys.
They're trying, but they've once again, so positive that the man has it as part of his rap handle.
I wonder if they're pop locking.
After 27 years, the Knicks are going back to the finals. Positive Tommy here in the greatest city in the world with my boys on 3. 1, 2, 3. The Knicks have dudes. The Knicks have dogs. They're gonna do damage. Again, let's win the whole effing thing.
It didn't have the
Let's go, Goose.
and just that was an epic. That went on and on and on. The only thing that's missing from this is they just need a good producer.
Positive Tommy here in the greatest city in the world with my boys on 3. 1, 2, 3. The Knicks have dudes.
It's almost amazing how far back. This isn't hard to do.
With my boys on 3. 1, 2, 3. The Knicks have dudes. The Knicks have dogs. They're gonna do damage.
I mean, that's like really tough. The Knicks have dudes. The Knicks have dogs. They're gonna do damage.
Yeah.
And they couldn't remember that.
The Knicks have dogs. They're gonna do damage.
Again. All right. Well, that's just going to get more and more annoying. And God help us if the Knicks actually win this championship. Mad Dog was very upset because people were saying this was the greatest Knicks team of all time, which had him apoplectic, and that Brunson was the greatest Knick of all time, and he did not like that either. Said the kids now don't appreciate history. And there you go. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. We are only an hour away from the Fart Doctor joining us. Big show on the way.
Need a little help getting started in the morning?
It's very dangerous.
They've got the experts.
So, no.
Toucher and Hardy.
No.
On the Sports Hub.
It's a stupid award. They shouldn't have it. And it's more about the players, and it's more about the work that the staff puts in. And it's just that simple. And I don't ever want to be asked or talked about it again. It's just that dumb. So the players play. It's about them. Staff works their ass off. I'm grateful to have them.
Joe Mazzulla has won Coach of the Year, so Celtics fans have that to look back on.
An award he did not want.
I wouldn't want it either. The history of that award is
not good.
Littered with people getting fired pretty soon after. But John Karalis, hello, sir.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, I'm sure it makes up for everything that now Joe Mazzulla has been coaching.
Everything's fixed. Everything's done. We're good.
Yeah.
Listen, Staff of the Year award, that's you got to get that right, first of all. Staff of the Year. That's the only way Joe's going to acknowledge that award exists. He's, to his credit, he is very adamant about not taking the credit, and he sees Coach of the Year as full credit, and he wants to make sure that his role in this is properly kind of processed by everybody. It is a full team effort, and he wants to make sure that the guys that you don't normally hear of are the guys that the men and women who do the work every day, player development wise, get the credit. And listen, the Celtics do have a great player development program. They get the most out of their players. I know how the season ended. And I know people are going to be upset, are still upset about that. But I think Joe and the staff were very well deserving of that award.
Okay, so Brad Stevens, after the season, I thought was refreshing. It seemed like, do you agree with this? It seemed like Brad Stevens kind of knew all season that this team wasn't as good as maybe people thought.
Yeah. I mean, in the end, they were... you get that old play. They were who we thought they were. They just had an incredible regular season that maybe it shows what the regular season really is in comparison to the playoffs. But it showed that the Celtics weren't we treated them like a 56-win team by the end. Because that's what we do. When a team wins 56 games, you have certain expectations. And they didn't live up to those expectations. But when the playoffs rolled around, all of the things that we thought could go wrong did. And it was obvious from the beginning of the season that they needed more help. I think, if anything, I should feel like, man, I kind of did people a disservice for falling into wow, they're really doing great in the regular season, but what are they going to be in the playoffs? Like, I sat here on your show and said, I'm not so sure if these guys are going to be able to step up in the playoffs. I probably should have been a little bit more forceful in that. But look, like I said, they win 56. You treat them like they win 56. And Brad, I think, expected certain things. Being up 3-1 against the Sixers. You should have closed that out. They probably would have gotten waxed by the Knicks, looking at how the Knicks are playing. But, there's Brad's right, and they definitely they knew it coming into the season. They have to make some changes. They have to add players.
See, I know that you said that, John, and that maybe they weren't as good as the 56 win team and all that. But I also think there's a fair amount of excuse making among Celtics fans and supporters, because that's easier than saying they just played horribly after being up 3-1 in that series. It seems like an almost more logical excuse to make, to say, they weren't really that good. How about they were that good and they just completely gagged away that series by, maybe some of the stuff came to fruition. The three-pointers didn't go down. The big man presence wasn't there for them. They didn't have an answer to Embiid. But to me, I still think they were good enough to win. They just stunk so bad for the rest of that series, and that's a harder thing to admit, I think.
No, I think it's both of those things. Both of those things can concurrently be true. They stunk. They absolutely. I'm not going to dispute anything that you said. After they went up 3-1, they had a chance to close that out, and they just kind of fell apart. And did Joel Embiid have something to do with that? Yeah, but also they should have. There is no doubt, top to bottom, they should have attacked Joel Embiid more forcefully like the Knicks did. But at the same time, the Knicks have Karl-Anthony Towns and the Celtics have Neemias Queta. And Queta was great. I think he should have been much more in consideration for most improved player. But he's not somebody you have to respect offensively. And Brad even acknowledged it. They just parked Joel Embiid at the bat in the middle of the paint, and it made every perimeter defender 25% better because they had Joel Embiid behind them. And the Celtics respected Joel Embiid like he was prime Joel, instead of, this guy is coming off of abdominal surgery, let's attack this guy. But you look at the playoffs right now, the OKC Thunder win last night because Isaiah Hartenstein and Caruso and McCain are out there playing their butts off, and the Celtics didn't get a lot of those kind of supporting performances in the way that these other teams do. The Knicks, you get Landry Shamet. You're getting performances from role players that are exceptional, and the Celtics need more of that from their role players when Jaylen Brown just isn't able to get the job. Like, defenses are geared to stop stars, and when it works, and you have 80% of Tatum, so he can't help as much as we would normally expect. That's where what I'm saying comes in. You have to upgrade, even if it's internal improvement. You have to upgrade those role player spots for the Celtics to get into being a true contender.
So let's talk about that a little bit. The Giannis stuff surrounding the Celtics seems to have died down in the last couple of weeks. It looks like Miami has kind of stepped forward. Pat Riley wants to make a big splash. So it seems like, based on what we've heard the last couple of weeks, the Celtics are going to pick around the edges and keep Jaylen Brown here, correct?
That's how it feels. I mean, I'm not ruling things out. I'm not ruling out a possibility of the Giannis thing doesn't get done this summer and it goes into the regular season next year, and the Bucks use the pressure of the trade deadline to get more offers, better offers. And the Celtics, because of a weak free agent class and a weak trade class, do some work this summer, like you're saying, picking around the edges, and take some of what they have to acquire players into the regular season, and also use the pressure of the trade deadline to make improvements between, December and February. So it seems like other teams are going to be in for Giannis, but I still think it's a possibility that this could drag out into the regular season.
That's amazing.
Everything. I mean, we heard Shams declare that there was going to be something before the draft, which is now less than a month away. You really think Milwaukee's going to hold on with Giannis wanting to get out?
Can anybody explain to me? As I can't figure it out. What does Milwaukee want to do? I think we need a clear vision from the Milwaukee Bucks that this will either make the Celtics big players in Giannis, or eliminate them completely. Are the Milwaukee Bucks looking to rebuild, or are they looking to stay competitive? If they're looking to rebuild, the Celtics are out. They don't have rebuilding pieces. But if the Milwaukee Bucks are looking to stay relevant, then maybe there's something that they can do. And I'm also not ruling out the Jaylen Brown stuff. I don't think so. I think overwhelmingly I believe that he is staying. But if something comes around, like if another team says, hey, no, listen, we as the third team will do X, Y, Z and add a lot of draft capital, and you can get Giannis and this, maybe the Celtics look at it and say, okay, that is actually better. But yeah, there's so much uncertainty about what teams are what Milwaukee is looking for from teams that I can't rule out that this will drag into the regular season.
Okay, I don't think they're going to do anything with Jaylen Brown either. I'm just curious, Sean, do you think that anything that Jaylen Brown is doing in this offseason with all of his Twitch streaming and all that stuff is doing anything to hurt his value with other teams? But people are certainly, excuse me.
Oh, boy.
Whoa. Stop talking about it a lot. But do other teams look at that and say, this is a potential problem?
I mean, I don't think so, because he has by and large performed on the floor. So he hasn't said anything. Like, honestly, what's the worst thing that he said? He said the off-putting, this was my favorite season, which he said multiple times during the regular season. But when he said it again right after the season, it bothered people. Got it. Okay. If that's the worst thing that he said, then you look at what's being said around the league from players.
Yeah.
All of these players have podcasts now. All of these players are streaming or Instagram Live, whatever it is. It's kind of par for the course. I don't think he said anything that's so controversial that it puts the team in a bad spot. Like that's where teams would say, you can say what you want to say, as long as you're not making us apologize for you, then that I think is the line to cross, and I don't think he crosses that line.
Well, do you think they're having internal discussions about, him getting this kind of attention in the offseason, or do you think they just let it play out?
I'm sure Joe Mazzulla hates it. I mean, he hates that any of these guys are doing anything. Like, Joe wants guys to just shut up, go work out, and get better, and all of that stuff. Because he doesn't want anything to get out there that can be used against the Celtics, right? It's the anything you say can and will be used against you on the court of basketball. Like that's the Celtics team approach. Brad Stevens doesn't come out there. He's not brash. He doesn't say things. Joe Mazzulla doesn't say things. He says crazy things, but doesn't say anything like brash. So yeah, I'm sure the team is probably like, man, I wish he wouldn't do that.
Why do they do it? Like, what's in it for them? Like, why do athletes feel the need to have a podcast or do a stream? Like, it doesn't make them any money.
Yeah, but some people like the attention. I mean, why do I do a podcast? I mean, part of it is,
but that's your job.
I love what I do. Yes, but I did it before it was my job.
Okay,
and I loved doing it. It's something some people just like. A little bit of the attention, and for Jaylen, he has said it flat out on his stream. He sees this as circumventing the media, right? He doesn't like the fact that I get to ask him questions and he has to answer what I ask. He wants to go out there and he wants to drive the conversation and say what he needs to say in his own way without it being chopped up into little sound bites or paragraphs.
Well, that doesn't work, because it does get chopped up into sound bites, into little things. Like, he's not good at it. That's the thing, is that if I was Jaylen Brown's agent, I would say, look, you could be saying things that could change the world, theoretically. Mm-hmm. Like, you could be the most brilliant orator of all time. No one's going to hear it. All they're going to do is hear stuff that you say that can get clipped out of your own 6-hour stream, and they're going to clip 2 minutes out of it, and then that's what everyone's going to discuss.
Yeah.
So maybe if you were on traditional media and asked questions and given a chance to respond openly, but there's like a hard out in 12 minutes, that maybe that's the best thing for you.
I've said this before.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to interrupt. I've said this before. He needs to find a journalist he can trust. Whoever it is, somebody that's not locally, somebody that he, can, who understands everything you just said, because you are right. He thinks he's, and this is, I think, one of the things about Jalen is I think he feels like he knows more about more things than he actually does. He doesn't know as much about the media and how people react as he thinks he does. He thinks by saying the stuff like directly and doing everything that I said, which was his explanation, that he thinks that he's kind of clearing the air. In what is actually happening is it's making things more convoluted sometimes because people listen, like you said, people clip. There's a social media outlet that's called Jalen Brown Clips that just clips the best stuff that he says. He streams for like an hour, and there's probably 4 minutes worth of stuff that's out there. And it would benefit him to get somebody with media training. Again, anybody that he trusts, it doesn't have to be a local person, somebody to kind of guide him question-wise, or when he's going off on a tangent, to bring him back and focus him up a little bit, to kind of pull him out of a tailspin sometimes, to be like, when he says, this is my favorite season, to kind of chime in and be like, can you explain that a little bit so it doesn't sound like blah, blah, blah? Like, so he has some guidance. Like, that would benefit him a lot.
Or edit himself. You could just have a guy that you do your hour, and then you and the guy go through it, and then you decide what you want to keep and what you want to leave.
Yeah, he wants to do it live. So okay, fine, do it live.
But he's not good at.
You're right. You're right.
You're right. Frustrating. It's like I know you want to do it, but sometimes having someone pressured to entertain an audience and having someone on top of you, making sure that you're doing it right is beneficial for everyone. I mean, it's like a skill that needs to be learned. It's annoying. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, we've all done it. Like, we've all had that kind of training.
Right.
And that's why we do our shows, and we can our brains work in like, okay, wait a minute, I might be going off the rails a little bit, and we can rein it in. He definitely needs that. I don't think athletes understand that when you turn a camera on and you have an audience, even if it's a live Twitch stream with 3,000 people, you feel compelled to appease that audience. And you got to be careful about falling into that trap. And he doesn't have that check or balance while he's talking live. And he doesn't want it, but he should acknowledge that one person there somehow, whether it's post-show editing or in live checking him while he's talking, he needs something like that. And if nothing else, to make it even more entertaining and make it more coherent.
If you have these points that you feel need to be made, get the point across. Like, just
for sure.
Put up clips of you speaking specifically about the thing that you want people to hear you talking about. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe I'll work with him. All right, John. Thank you. He can have a huge career like me.
Oh.
John Karalis, Sports Illustrated. Thank you, sir.
You got it, guys.
Appreciate it.
See you, John.
I wonder if Jalen would consider an internship. He could be like Isaac.
Oh.
Right. Okay.
Mentored by the great Freddie T.
And I'll be Babe Ruth. I'll go play baseball and be Babe Ruth. Jalen Brown's going to come in here. He's going to be like Isaac.
Okay, so you're saying he has no chance of
being Isaac.
Equaling
no. I mean, Shohei Ohtani is the Babe Ruth of our generation. There could be, I would imagine it's generations.
You're saying there's somebody out there, but it's...
I don't know if they're out there now. I think generationally there could be another Isaac.
10 years from now?
Is that a generation? Maybe.
No, it's not. It's too soon. 10 years, too soon.
Like maybe God
20.
Is in the process of thinking about creating another Isaac.
Right.
But I don't know if Isaac walks among us right now.
No.
Isaac 2.0 walks among us. No, probably not. He's one of a kind, that kid. All right, we'll be back. Here are the headlines.
When it comes to the show, Hardy thinks the same way you do.
Nothing happened.
He's got the same questions.
Where is the story?
And the same opinions.
Boring.
And he's back with Fred on the Sports Hub.
Mike Vrabel is scheduled to speak to the media today at 11.
11:30.
11:30. You don't hear much about the Vrabel and Rossini thing right now. It's died down quite a bit. It doesn't seem like people are hunting for photos right now, or if they are, they're not finding much. I can't imagine that it comes up today. This will all start rolling again when the season gets going.
This is his first time meeting the media without anything else that's obvious hanging over him, like the draft, for example. He was available during the draft briefly, but, a lot of the questions, could say, oh, we got to keep it to this. This is the opening practice of OTAs today. There isn't much going on. You'd have to figure that somebody will try and broach the subject, regardless of whether they get shot down or not. Somebody's got to ask the question this morning. I also noticed the media availability is only 10 minutes. So the Patriots are anticipating this. But it's somebody's going to take a chance during that 10 minutes. You can't help but not do it.
Oh, no. You would. It's kind of the job. Something has to be asked. Now, is there any information that, you need to have? No. But there's people who certainly want to know things.
He hasn't answered any questions about it. There have been statements and there have been quick photographs in a Salt Lake City airport, but there hasn't been anything concrete from the head coach other than that strong denial when it first happened. And, him having to take time off in the draft.
That's what you got to ask you denied the relationship with Rossini, but then you missed day 3 of the draft.
That's
Can you
significant.
kind of just fill us in with what happened? That's a legitimate question.
Sure it is.
It's a legitimate question. It's tough in that its connection to football is only missing that day 3 of the draft, but I still contend that's a bigger deal than what they made it sound like. It's like, it's day 3. If you're going to miss a day,
there's 3 days, and you missed one of them.
You missed one day, and you're also the coach that's going out there and physically putting your hands on guys and working them out. And you're supposed to be the the one. You are the decision maker. This is what you've been lauded for, and this is what you've been kind of labeled as. So for you to miss any part of the draft is a big deal.
Well, you could argue day 3 is the most important time to be there.
It's where you get your key depth pieces.
I know. Yeah. But the first round, players are kind of set.
Yeah.
And you've done a ton of work on them. You're kind of dealing with how the board falls in later rounds. That doesn't matter. None of that matters. It's just you're dealing with how the board falls. Then when the draft's over, you got to start immediately, which they did. They signed a running back to $250,000, an undrafted free agent. You got to pivot to kids that didn't get drafted immediately and start in on them. That's complete and utter nonsense. If I was Las Vegas's general manager, I'm much better off missing that Thursday night and just having my people take Mendoza.
Yeah.
Or if I'm the Jets, they had decided on David Bailey.
You don't need to be there.
And I would contend that the Patriots, had a handful of names, 3 names of kids that they thought would be around there and that they were targeting, and that they took one of them.
Yeah, you're not in the room. Ordinarily, we'd ask you this question and say, okay, we're down to these 3 guys. Which one do you want? And if you're not there, it makes that conversation much more difficult.
Well, yeah, because,
and maybe we don't get the guys that you need to help.
Because the first round, you've done all the work. Again, you have, a group of people that you're comfortable taking or that you trade up for. And if you trade up, you know what you're comfortable giving up, where you're comfortable trading up for, what you're comfortable giving away. You've had an entire offseason to go through all the machinations of that. The second round, it becomes a little bit less. But then, Jesus, Cleveland didn't go into that draft to take Shedeur Sanders. They took Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round. And then everything fell crazy, and then they ended up taking Shedeur Sanders too. People, make decisions, and that's entirely where the board's falling. Things are happening fast. No, day 3 is a huge deal. I don't look in terms of life and existence. Is missing day 3 of the draft a huge deal? No, but if you're a football coach who's involved in player personnel, there's not many bigger days than day 3. Free agency, you have a huge runway leading up to free agency. Yeah, day 3, I can't think of personnel-wise much of a bigger day to miss. So, yes, it's a football thing. And, yes, it is obvious that he missed it because of the Rossini thing. But he denied the Rossini thing. And he hasn't come out and said anything since then. So the question would be, and this is how to ask it, is that, hi, Mike, when it originally came out, you vehemently denied having a relationship with Diana Rossini, but then in the fallout, you ended up missing day 3 of the draft. What is the situation? How do you rectify those two things?
So he does have the out in that he did speak before the draft. And he said that his actions didn't meet up.
It's the Belichick thing. I've already covered that. Yeah,
I already addressed this before the draft.
Is that the smartest way to do it?
No, it's not. It's not even close to being the smartest way to do it, because that will increase the pressure on him in this case instead of make it go away.
You want to come off likable and and humble, and because again, he didn't do anything to anyone. He didn't do anything to me or you. He didn't hurt the world. He didn't, I guess theoretically, it looks like, very much so, had a long-term affair that only is a family issue, the two families. So ultimately, it doesn't affect any Patriot fans, except that he missed day 3 of the draft. If I was, again, guiding Mr. Mike Vrabel, I would say just be like, yeah, this has been very difficult. I don't know if I handled it right at first. It kind of got sprung on me. I have been working. I missed day 3 of the draft because I'm working very hard with my family. This has been a very difficult thing, and I'm human, and I've made, mistakes. And I'm asking my family for forgiveness, and I'm going to try to protect them by speaking about it as little as possible. There you go. He admitted it. He said he's going to speak about it as little as possible, and I, for one, am fine. There you go. As long as you admit it, it's over. That's all you got to do is admit it. And then once you admit it, what is anyone going to say to you? Ha ha, you cheated. And you can be like, yeah, I know, dude.
Yeah, I
did it. I already said it. And they can't fire you for cheating. I guess they could fire you for anything, but that would be, I'd take Vrabel in before the ink was done, before he was done with his signature on resignation papers, I'd take him. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.